Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer. In today's episode of Midlands to London, we're going to be heading back up to the Midland Main Line to build Bedford Railway Station. I think we've done quite a lot around London in the last few episodes, so I think I want to try and finish Midland Main Line if I can. Well, finish it to a certain extent anyway, but yeah, we definitely need Bedford Railway Station if we're going to do that. In the last episode we built this new station, which is Hammersmith. So we've got the underground station here, which you can't see. Maybe if I pause the game and jump on a train. I mean, it's not in any way, shape or form an accurate representation of Hammersmith station, I don't think, but we've got the underground station there anyway, which is all nice. Yeah, they're just one type of underground station, unfortunately, but at least we've got underground stations. If I jump out of him in a minute, and then we've got the Hammersmith above ground station, and that's pretty much it. I've done a little bit of painting just to try and tidy things up. Put some roads on, put some buses connecting Shepherd's Bush to Hammersmith to try and get people to kind of change modes before we extend the Piccadilly line and the district lines further into central London, which, looking at this now, is going to be quite tricky. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to achieve this actually, but we will have to take a look at that. Probably, maybe wouldn't want really to replace Hammersmith, but we might have to. So yeah, we've got quite a lot done here because it's taken 3-4 episodes to get from Heathrow to Hammersmith, but it has been quite a complex build, and we've built a nice depot as well. So there we are, that's where we're up to in the west of London. Slough is yet still to be moved. I've decided where I'm going to move it, but yeah, it will be relocated at some stage. In today's episode though, we're heading up to Bedford, which is sitting all the way over there on its own. How far? We've got quite a long way to go to Leicester actually, haven't we? We've got Kettering. We're not going to get the Corby branch, unfortunately, I don't think. It's just going to be a straight run up to Leicester with maybe a couple of stations in between, because that really is a long distance without any stations. But we've got Bedford here, and I think let's just take a look at the overlay. I really wouldn't prefer not to demolish it, but we will just see. Let's get rid of all of this, maybe that road there as well, because looking at Google Maps, Bedford appears to be, yeah, that's just the connection. Don't really need to worry about that. That's pretty much, Bedford appears to be over to the more to the east of the station, so I guess I might just try and salvage it this time. Just get rid of as much as I can without getting rid of all of one of the particular. Yeah, that should be enough for us to actually get a station in. So I think I will use, for a change, an actual station would help. I think I'll use the NL, because we don't really need to worry about third rail tracks or anything like that. We've got high speed, catenary, yes, 240 metres long, and we'll just have a single track for now, and we'll just chuck that in about. Let's just take a look. We'll make sure we're orientated correctly before we actually go and commit to placing the station about there, and then I'll try and encourage Bedford to build on the opposite side as well. Yeah, there's not a lot to this station. It is quite simple and straightforward. NL doesn't have its own thing, does it? So we're just going to tracks first of all. A pair of electrified tracks along here, and then platforms, couple of platforms. It shouldn't be particularly difficult, this station. Let's just take a look. Yeah, it's these two along here, and then I think I'll have another platform along there actually, another platform face, and then I'll just have the station building. Not a particularly complicated or interesting station building. It's just I think a normal 1970s, 60s, 80s style flat roof thing. Nothing to really write home about. And then we want some tracks. So this centre one doesn't really need to be a track, but I'll put it in anyway. And then we'll have a little bit of track coming off there. Then there's a little bit of like a stepped thing going on. No, so we don't need, yeah, I need a track there, and then I'll just chuck that track in there. Doesn't really matter too much, does it? Platforms. So yeah, offset platform like so. As far as I can tell, something a bit like that. Yeah, and then we've got these tracks. I'm not sure if these tracks are electrified actually. I don't think they are. I think I'll just have non-electrified into there. Yeah, that's looking alright. And then we want some MISC, just want an overpass. Straightforward, no facing the other way. Something a bit like that. Nothing particularly grand, interesting. And then, is it in MISC? Just want the canopy, that's all I want. So I'll cover all this section here with the canopy just to kind of replicate the station building. And no, that's it. And then a little tiny bit there, and then that. And then I think, do we have, I'm pretty sure we have the shelters. As we're going to auto-save. Okie dokie, yeah, there's no shelter, just I think a few benches on the centre platform, and that's maybe couple here as well. There's not a great deal to this station. I think I might put a shelter there actually, or should I? No, I think I'll just put a bit of canopy, because there is a shelter like immediately after the steps as far as I can remember. My brief visit. No, that's that one though. That one, NL. Yeah, not particularly grand station by any means. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it like that, and then we'll just chuck a passenger building on. We'll just go with this one here. Ooh, no, it's a bit too big. That's 2 stories, don't want that. Have we got any? One of them, or one of them. Be nice to have a bigger single-story building, actually, but not to worry. Just trying to find like a matching, because we need one of those with an entrance. No, that's 2 stories. Let's just double check, just make sure does this provide an entrance? It does seem to appear to. Yeah, so I think we'll use something like that. Configure, go back to this. No, don't want to use that. That's one of them, and that's one of them. Yeah, we'll just keep it at that, I think. Maybe, no, that's different height. That's different height. No, just chuck that on there, just so it's got an entrance, and then we'll just get a bit of road. As we've kept the town, we're going to have to try and work within. Ooh, just about fits in there, and then straight into there like that. So we've got our basic station, which is just called Bedford, which is good. Right, so I think first of all we'll do well, I should have built this on a pad. Doesn't matter. No, it's 2011. I don't think the northern section of this would be electrified, but I think, yeah, I'll do it unelectrified for now. I know, just trying to think when the kind of Thames Link train started to arrive, or when electrification met Bedford. I think it was prior to 2011. So I'm building a bit too much of this track, aren't I? So it wants to probably be about there. Right, and what have we got going on here? So we've got 3 kind of mainline tracks, and then this one wants to merge in 50. Yeah, I think I'll take that. Yeah, because these will be the up-down fast, I think, with lots of, the East Midlands Railway, East Midlands trains, high-speed trains, just don't stop at Bedford, so they just go straight through. I think that'll be reet. Next is, there's a little bit of a, whatchamacallit here? No, something, a little bit of a siding. That's the word I always seem to forget for whatever reason. Right, so we've got that there. That's merging into the side of that, is it? And then there should be another switch. Like so, we do actually need a bit more track before we... Actually, having said that, let's get rid of this. Get rid of all of this, actually. And in fact, because we've got quite a large run-up, we can just start to raise this track a little bit, just because I do have a road bridge to build, and we are going to end up with a little bit of the beach texture, but as if we can minimise it as much as possible, then I will try to. Right, so we've got those tracks there, and then we'll have a little bit more track running up. Doesn't want to be, yeah, something like that. I need enough space just to get the junctions in that we need to get in, basically. So got that siding, you built into there, and then we've got that switch, which it doesn't want to build into there. And then is there another? No, it doesn't look right. Or does it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's fine. Right, you into there, and then you pretty much alongside that one. Continue a little bit more straight track on a little bit of an incline. Now I think we can start to level it off now. Actually, I think we're high enough to get a road bridge, and then we need a couple more switches. I don't think we need to really worry too much about the speed of these. Actually, I think I might just reduce the speed of these, because I don't think they're going to get used in this particular instance. Just try and, yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that. Just want to try and get in this, and then try and get a road bridge in to try and connect the 2 halves of Bedford, basically. Try and encourage development on both sides without having to come in later on and plot buildings in. Maybe if we just downgrade that to, yeah, just downgrade that little bit, just so we know it's a siding. So yeah, we've got that in there, and then a bit of road. We are quite far away from the actual town though, it's the only thing, but not to worry. And then can I get a bridge in there? Actually, what I'll do is flatten that off, delete that road, yeah, and then if I just build that straight across there on the flat, no, that looks bad. That looks alright, actually. I think I'll take that. And then 0 height bridge, get rid of you first. You have to do this on. So we want to use, let's see if this works. We want to use, doesn't really matter too much. Let's say that one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's try that. Let's see what that does. So it's gone for the green one, so let's try that again. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I just prefer the grey one. No, that's built the exact, I don't know. Maybe the mod's been updated, or maybe I was just being stupid last time when it wasn't selecting the right bridge. I'm not entirely sure, so let's see if this is going to work, which it has. Alright, then we'll take it. Let's, okie dokie, build the track like so, and then just, as I keep doing this, when am I going to learn? I don't know if I'll ever to turn zero height bridge off. Right, chuck you in, and then why won't you just snap nicely alight? So now the only problem with this, I think that bridge is probably a little bit too low now, but it doesn't matter too much. Maybe if we just lower the road one. That's probably actually a perfect height for a bridge, I think, just miles away from Bedford. That's the only issue. Get you up to the surface, get you up to the surface as well, and then just you can go off somewhere and do something, and then you same, and then we just want to get a road connected up to that side, and then I'll do something with this side a bit later on. So we've got that. Let's just smooth this off. Yeah, we're just about high enough with the road there that we haven't got the bridge texture, so that's all looking, it's all looking fine. Now we've got to get this complicated little bit in. Right, so this is where things do get a little bit interesting. Let's do the easy bit first. So catenary, yes. Yeah, this is where the station should have been on a pad or a little bit raised, because the road is going to have to go. Let's just, I mean, you don't have to be using zero height bridge, you don't actually have to do this. That's water straight away. Don't really want water. Let's just plan where our road's going first of all, in the first instance. Something like that. Is that going to work? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've just had a quick look at Google Maps, and the road, it's actually a road over bridge, so I don't know why I was stressing. It just sometimes when you're looking on open rail map, it doesn't make it look exactly apparent where it's supposed to, or what the bridge is. So we'll have a little bit of track to about there, and then we've got the up down fasts, which I'm guessing are electrified. Don't know, to about there, and then these two tracks, these kind of go off, they curve off and then curve back in again like that. You're not really worried about the speed, because obviously these are just the up down slows for the Thameslink service, or what will eventually be the Thameslink services. So that's looking about right, and then just nibble off it at the end there to there, I think. Okie dokie. Right, next is this track here, which is obviously the Marston Vale Line, so we'll get that in there, switch onto there, and then this follows that until about the apex, or would be an apex, and then a little bit more track. Actually, maybe if I just push that back a bit, was that as short as I can make it, as small? Yeah, right. And then a little bit of track, I think. No, I'm not sure at this point if all of this will be electrified. I know the Marston Vale Line isn't electrified, but I'm assuming this huge kind of depot stabling area here is for class 700s, I think. Definitely looks like it from the Google Maps. Right, so that goes into there, then it goes into a single track section, and then back into double track, and then there's a bit coming off here. I'm not going to build like this entire depot, but I will build some of the track, which it must be electrified if class 700s are on it. Let me know in the comments what it is, if you know. I'll build some of the stabling. I'll just build a little bit here now. I don't really want to worry about it too much. Build that into there, and then just a little switch into there will do the job. Right, and then you start to curve towards what will be the river. I don't know why I deleted those two little bits of track. And then there's another, we could have done with a switch coming off there. Right, let's get rid of you and all of that actually. What we need to do is, before that splits off, we need a little switch there. Again, don't want to build all of what's here, but do want to build a little bit of it. Right, and then splits off to two. Actually, not quite as severe as that though. Right, we'll have that little bit of track, which is currently it's electrified, but we'll worry about that later. No, that's where it goes into two tracks. Right, so we need that switch there. Again, not worried about the speed of that really, and then something a bit like that, and then something a bit like that, and then this actually, I think we want to just reduce that curve a little bit, just make it a bit more gradual, a little bit more track. So if I say that siding is going to about there, so this is when we start with a little bit of a river, so we need that there, and then we need to make this curve a little bit less curvy, a bit like that. Good. Right, next thing is, I think we're going to delete all this track I've just built, not all of it, just this little bit here, so I can raise this track a little bit, and then the same on this side as well. You'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. Is that going to be... No, I think another, probably wants to be 2 steps high. Yeah, that's probably a little bit better, something like that. Do the same obviously on this side. Just gonna, right, okie dokie, you wanna, right, get rid of you then, and you, 2 about there, and then lift 2 should be okay. Doesn't look too much like a roller coaster, does it? I think we should be able to get away with that. And then this one as well is gonna have to come up, because that also goes over the river that we're gonna have to build in a minute. The river, the Great Ooze. Just make sure that's not ugly. I think that all looks all right. Yeah, it's starting to look all right. Next thing is we need this river. Right, so it is pretty much just a straight channel across here. It's not a particularly wide river, I don't think. Not really worrying about it too much. I'll do some stuff off off camera just to tidy that up. Just a little bit of a meander in it there, like so. All I want to build is as much of the river as you're actually going to see from the cab of the train when we do a cab ride eventually. Right, so that's all looking fine. I think we just need a road. Actually, no, let's just take a look. Yeah, I was just trying to have a look at what sort of bridges these were. I can't really tell from Google Maps, so I think I'm just going to go with some kind of maybe a basic girder. It's got no piers on it though. I think if we go for just something like that, and then I'll have to put the piers in manually, and then that wants to be just need to flatten that off a little bit just for that approach. I think something like that. I'm not really worried about the speed, I'm just worried about the angle at which the two bridges are coming together, something like that. And then this can start to come down, maybe not like that then, a bit like, yeah, that should be fine, something a bit like that. And then this track wants to come and meet this section of track here, which is all fine, that speed's all good. And then it's pretty much 4-track all the way down to London, isn't it? I think. Where are we up to? I think we are probably starting to nudge a little bit eastwards. I think I might just curve that west a little bit. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but we do want to be starting to head in the right sort of direction. And then again, we just want to get that hooked up to that track there. That should all be fine. And then just a little bit of smoothing on this bit here. And actually, no, we didn't want to go down. We wanted to stay on a slight embankment because we've got another bit of track to get underneath this yet. So let's just keep that raised for now, kick it westwards a little bit, get that joined up to that bit as well. And then we want to do no catenary on that one, and then we just want another simple, no, we don't want a bridge like that actually, that's pretty ugly. Right, can I do a little bit of dead straight track, something a bit, yeah, just I think I might come back to this in a minute. Yeah, let's just have that, see what that looks like. Bridge, we'll do the same, just basic girder bridge. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just delete all this again for the third time, just to get that approach looking nice into there. So we've got a little section of 2-track. Oh no, it's not a little section of 2-track, it is actually all 2-track from there on out, from there on in. Yeah, that'll do the job. And then this kind of kicks off onto the second drawing. Okie dokie, so this kicks out a little bit like eastwards. You want to just be on an embankment. You can start to come down, and then it wants to curve towards the Midland Main Line. And then just on that curve there, it does go to single track again, very briefly. But you know, let's push this a bit further south. So we've got a little bit of track there. We can start to come down. And then we've got a little bit of a curve, a little bit of straight track. So you want to go into single track, and then after that curve back into double track again. And then we want this to go, I think we want this to be kind of heading downwards, don't we? So get rid of you, and you start to head downwards. And we can use zero height bridge, it's not a big issue, but I just like to have it in the right sort of place so we don't really have to mess around too much. And then it starts to curve. That's quite a slow curve, 38, still quite slow. And then just a bit to the main line, coming something a bit like that. She probably could do a little bit more main line actually. Just want to make the bridges short as possible. I think something like that. Bring all these segments in. Actually, yeah, that should be alright. Okie dokie. So 4 main lines. I know they're not electrified at the minute, but I will any second now. Zero height on. We'll do a little bridge dead straight on the flat. A little bit of a bow to it. I don't really like having a bow on my bridge. Something a bit like that. Right, so let's see now if we can get one of these tracks underneath, which we seem to be able to. And obviously we've still got zero heights turned on. Of course we have. Right, bit of track straight, press N to bring it down, and then the same on this as well, and just to bring it down, and then just 4 bits of track because it's 4-track, like so. Now the only worry is, I mean, that is very low. I think that's a bit too low. So what I'll do is I'll do one and a few bits. Just have a look. That's probably, yeah, it's probably not that low. It's just because I'm using that really thick girder bridge. Can I just, if I do that, that's far too slow. Yeah, I'll take that. I think 30 something, 30 odd 40, and then this curve's going to be quite slow. So where actually we need to be looking towards Bletchley, don't we? So this appears as if this almost runs kind of not quite parallel, but it just both both run a little bit side by side for a while, and then obviously the Marston Vale Line heads off towards Bletchley, like so, and then 4-track. We wanted to keep this on an embankment for a little bit. I'd say to about there, because we just want to do one last thing, which is erode. So we're just, what do I, A421, and this goes under the Marston Vale Line as well, so we need to get rid of all of that. Get this, so it's gonna be about here. So no, we want to be a curve. So what I'll do is back to making use of this now, aren't I? Right, let's not use that girder bridge, let's use the much more slender one, and then just go one and a few bits. Although having said that, it probably wouldn't be a girder bridge, would it? Because I think the A421, especially in its current guise, is probably a modern bridge. Let's just see if that works. So one, something a bit like that. Yeah, see, it's not just me being an idiot, it was, there is something wrong with this. So it is, that's 1, 2, 3, try that one. It seems to be with the further you get down, maybe. And then is that concrete? It is, but it has no edges, which looks a bit rubbish. So we don't want that one. Which one do we want then? Let's try that one. 1, 2, 3, and that's built that bridge. Good. All right, let's try that one then. Just yeah, why haven't you got any things? What are you? Your concrete bridge. So 1, 2. Let's try that one. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. It's just like a guessing game, as with another auto save. Let's see, what's that now? It's got yeah, maybe take that with the railings there. That's all I wanted really, was a little bit of railing or something on the bridge. And I think we'll probably do the same. No, we won't. We'll delete that first. I guess we can go with the same sort of bridge because it would have been built in the same sort of time frame, wouldn't it? So one, right from there, just kind of guessing a little bit. Just didn't like the way it looked on that approach to the bridge. It looked like the bridge is going to be bowed in the middle, which is not really what we want. Why is that doing 12 miles per hour? Right, okie dokie. 0 height bridge off. Yeah, this, what you need is that to be perfect level. When it's like this arrow, sometimes when it says level, it's not, which isn't ideal, but I think that is level. Oh, it's because there's like a little tiny bit of track in there. So we'll do the approach, get rid of the road, that little bit of track. We'll do 0 height bridge again, and then we'll go straight across, and then we'll just do it by eye. Yeah, because look, you can be up in the air a little bit there, and it you know, it's saying it's flat, but it's not. 186 miles per hour. Obviously, it doesn't need to be 186 miles per hour, but it certainly doesn't want to be 12 miles per hour either. And we'll just chuck in that nice slender looking bridge. Turn 0 height off, and then just kick this out towards the west, like so, and then just get this. I mean, this, going to all this effort, we really don't need the A421, but it is kind of like a major feature, isn't it? So I guess it does. We should have it built a little bit, maybe on a. Actually, can I just, if I just kick that out, and then can I get under there on a curve? I think I can, and then I can go somewhere. Good. Right, so then hopefully we should be able to get this track up to that with no issue. It's still 16, I think that's all right actually. And then just kind of almost parallel but not quite, starting to run west towards Bletchley, obviously, like that. I think, yeah, that's quite a complex construction, but I think ultimately worth it. The next thing is just to get this electrified, this section here. Not sure about the rest of the Marston Vale Line, what sort of arrangement is with the electrification. I don't think we're going to get any of the sidings kind of squidged in there anyway, but we've got most of the main features in, which I think is the main thing. And yeah, again, a little bit messy. I think I might just do a little bit of a time lapse after this one, you know, after this episode, just to give you the final product. I've done a lot of tidying up, but I'll leave this episode there for today. So until next time, bye bye.